Blink if there's a secret cow level. I'm sitting here with the devs from Diablo 4, Vessels of Hatred. May you introduce yourself and what you do in the game?
My name's Tiffany Watt. I'm the production director on Diablo 4.
My name is Rex Dixon. I'm lead designer on Vessel of Hatred.
Could you explain shortly what the new expansion is all about?
Sure. Well, Vessel of Hatred is our first expansion for Diablo 4. So at the end of the base game of Diablo 4, Neyrelle had trapped Mephisto inside the Soulstone, and she has taken this into the region of Nahantu, which is a jungle region, and that's where the hero is going to follow her in the new campaign. You know, we have a new class that we're introducing in Diablo 4. It's actually a new class to the entire Diablo franchise. The Spiritborn has 4 rulers. It's the centipede, the gorilla, the jaguar, and the eagle, and there's just so many different ways that the player can build.
Yeah, so Vessel of Hatred is more than just an extension of the campaign. It's a huge swing by our dev team. You'll find 2 new modes never before seen in Diablo, Dark Citadelle and Kurast Undercity. We've built 4 new monster families. We have a whole new continent for people to explore. That continent consists of 6 unique biomes. Major update to progression and difficulty that is going to be as big as Season 4 was to itemization. We have a solution to people bricking their items with tempering coming. We basically, a new party finder for social play. Everything that our fans have been asking for, we've been able to execute on since launch, and it's all showing up in Vessel of Hatred.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the Dark Citadel. Could you go more in depth?
Yeah, so Dark Citadel's bringing something entirely new to Diablo. Being Blizzard, we have a long history of building these cooperative mechanics in some of our other titles, and we wanted to give it a shot on Diablo. And so we have a lot of subject matter experts on the team that are really passionate about a co-op kind of mode. And so you get at least 2 people, you can go in there and try it out. We built a party finder to make it really easy to pair up with people, to start a squad, invite people in, or join somebody else's squad. There's 3 wings to Dark Citadel. It will take you multiple hours to get through. Luckily, you can save after you complete each wing and come back the next day if you don't have that much time on your hands. There's a lot of cooperative mechanics where you have to work together and talk to each other in order to figure out what you're supposed to do and what your job is. And there's a whole string of those things to get through. So there's always new challenges being thrown at you. But as you referenced, one of the best parts about it is these custom rewards that are unique to the Dark Citadel, which you can buy via this currency that you get from playing through, which will drop from enemies. And every week we're going to be updating those rewards, so there's always a reason to come back and try again.
In Vessels of Hatred, a new class will be playable. You talked about it, the Spiritborn. Tell us more about them. What makes them unique?
So the Spiritborn is an incredibly mobile and agile class. It's not new to Diablo 4, but I would say they're probably the most agile class. We were looking at the lineup of our base characters, and we were really happy with the heroes and classes that we brought to the base game. And so we kind of looked at the different archetypes and play styles that we currently have in Diablo 4, and we realized we don't have any class that has a background in martial arts. So I think that was one of the inspirations for the play style that we wanted with the class. And then with Vessel of Hatred, I feel like customization and the ability for players to really craft their play style to fit what they find fun was one of our core pillars. And so with building the class, I feel like it just opens up so much customization possibilities. With the 4 different rulers, those are all 4 different play styles, and you can blend them together. So if you really like to play more defensive, tanky play style, you can choose the gorilla. If you like fire specs, you can pick the jaguar. If you like poison and damage over time, you can pick the centipede. You can mix them together. I know one of Rex's favorite talents is Soar, which is a movement ability that we see a lot of our players choose because movement abilities are always a lot of fun. There's just so much variety within the class itself.
Let's talk about the new mercenaries you implemented. There are 4 of them. Could you just shortly describe what they are doing and how they help the player in the game?
Yeah, so we added mercenaries to the game. It's a much beloved feature that comes from Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, but we've reimagined it in Vessel of Hatred. There's 4 mercenaries. We have Rahir, who you meet in the campaign and introduces you to the Merc Den, their hideout. You have Subo the Archer. We have Variana, who's a former cannibal and a berserker crone, basically. And then we have Aldkin, who's a demon child bad things went on with his family in the Khazra, and he was the result of all that. And one of the best things about the mercs is each one has their own storyline. And so in order to acquire them, you go on a quest. And as part of this quest, you learn about who they are, what happened to them, their backstory. And once you've acquired them, they all sit at that mercenary den. and then you can go and hire them to adventure with you. In addition to the combat effectiveness which they bring to the field, they also have an upgradable skill tree. So much like a player class, each merc has their own skill tree, and the more time you spend adventuring with them, the more you can fill that out. And building the skill tree out is all about synergizing it with your build. In some cases, they're supplementing a weakness. For example, if I've spec'd heavy into offense and DPS, I might want to take Rahir because he has defensive capabilities and buffs my defense and resiliency when he comes on the field. Another example is I might want to get it synergized with my build. So if I choose a rogue with shadow damage, I'm going to want Altkin and then spec into his shadow damage demon form because it's going to complement all my shadow damage buffs that I already have on my system. And on top of that, there's also a vendor at the Merc Den. And so you get this currency, you can get specific items from there and get unique transmogs, cosmetics, and lots of other stuff from the Merc Den.
Can we equip the mercenaries with armory or weapons or stuff like that?
So we thought about it and we actually play tested some of that, but we really felt like the power was in the skill tree. And so we've opted into that to be the focus. Micromanaging your mercenaries gear turned out to be not as fun as maybe we had hoped. And so we opted into the thing that people really enjoyed, which is speccing out the skill tree.
Which is your personal favorite mercenary?
For me personally, I have to go with Rahir because he's a dad and I'm a dad. And so I can sort of associate myself with him. But his defensive skills are always preferable to me because I'm terrible at defense.
I'm going to say that my favorite mercenary is Variana because she is a cannibal. The perk that she brings to the field is basically a massacre bonus. The more demons I kill, the faster I kill them. I start chaining those kill streaks together. It starts increasing my attack speed. I move faster, and so it just makes the pace of combat really exciting and thrilling. And it just encourages me to kill more demons.
We didn't talk about the end game, late game content. Maybe you can, what's there to play?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, we've done a complete overhaul of our difficulty and progression system. You'll find big changes to the Paragon boards, the leveling process. And one of the things that we've taken very seriously on this expansion is getting more people into the end game. A lot of people play Diablo for the story, and so when they're done with the campaign, kind of put the game down. We don't want that to happen anymore. So we've actually done this thing called the Deeds of a Champion, which is after you finish the campaign, there's additional quest lines to get you to explore more of the world and kind of bridge you to that end game where we think some of the best experiences is. We've moved away from capstone dungeons and we've now built this thing called the Pit. And the Pit is where you sort of test your build against these new difficulty levels. There's more options for players. So if you need a bigger challenge, you can upgrade your difficulty tier right from the beginning of the game.
I really like the Witch Doctor from the Diablo 3. Why didn't you put him in this expansion? I think he fits the vibe very good.
A lot of people want old things brought back. And there's value to that for sure. But for us, we wanted to do something new and bring something fresh to the table. The other thing about Spiritborn is it's inexorably linked to the campaign. So this idea of them using these spirit guardians from a spirit realm is intrinsic to their whole nature, and players will actually visit the spirit realm as part of the campaign. And like I said, it's like a major component of everything you experience in this, and it was really a perfect fit for us. We also, we did a lot of inspiration from like Aztec, Mayan, and Incan culture, and you'll notice the Spiritborn looks a lot like Jaguar warriors from Aztec culture. And so it just felt like the perfect fit for us. Maybe a little bit more risky than bringing back an old class that was tried and tested, but we're not afraid of taking those risks, and we're really, really proud of how it turned out.
The last one is blink if there's a secret cow level. Okay. Thank you very much for the interview. Yeah, if you're looking forward to it, when is the release date?
October 8th, 2024.
Ja, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Das war das Interview. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß. Wenn ihr noch weitere Videos sehen wollt, dann klickt hier oder abonniert den Kanal, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Lasst ein Like da. Tschüss.